Our first week at the office, one of the developers said to me, he said, "Mark, I wrote more code in 1 week than I did in 3 months while at HCSC." The story I like to tell now, we're about 14 months in, is I'm taking months and I'm turning those into weeks. I'm taking weeks and I'm turning them into days. And I'm taking days and I'm actually turning it into hours and sometimes even minutes. We had scoped this project internally at HCSC. We thought, okay, brand new development, I'm gonna need 10 developers, I'll need some BAs and some testers, and I'll need basically a team of like 35 people. It's gonna take us on an enterprise scale 8 to 9 months to kind of pull something like that off. So we scope it at Pivotal, and they said, hey, we think we can staff 4 developers. Why don't you bring 2 and we'll bring 2? So 4 people, and we think we can get this done in like 6 to 8 weeks. And sure enough, at about the 8-week period, we finished off all the stories in our backlog that we had thought we were gonna do, and we actually deployed to production with the finished app. It was mind-blowing. It was months down to weeks. Our old mobile app that's out in the iOS, the Apple Store and the Google Play Store, it took us 15 months to build that app. We did it internally, and it took us 15 months. We built that app this year over at Labs with HCSC developers and Pivotal Labs developers, and we did it in 14 weeks. We learned to work in a new way. And that was the key for us to operate like a startup. Was I needed to stop working the way I was working and learn how to do this new thing. We couldn't figure that out on our own, and that's why we co-located with you guys.
You also touched on the inefficiencies in the tools that you use and the processes. Can you talk about whether it's CI/CD or Cloud Foundry, cloud native platforms, because if all you're doing is building apps better and faster, but you're waiting 3 months, right. That's no better. So how does that fit into it for you?
Yeah, the key to making all of this work to get faster is automation. You have to have a platform where you can automate and provision an environment, automate and compile code, automate and deploy code. That is the key pipeline to get this stuff to go fast. When we really started to see the improvement is when we used a platform like Cloud Foundry, where we enabled developers to spin up environments, be the DBAs. You are a self-contained team that is doing all of that work. So instead of, I need a change, I'm gonna go to this group, ask them for a change, and then I need this change, and I go to that group. And we're talking, that's when we took weeks down to hours, really, is I'm empowering developers to make all of those changes and be a team that's self-sufficient.